and welcome. My name's Kathy A, and today I thought we would have a little peek at some of the stuff I've hauled. Let's start off with this wicked cool, this is a night shirt actually. Yeah. And it is actually right now, so let me just have a sip here before we continue. Yes, this is my real hair. It's my summer cut. She went a little bit short. I told her carte blanche. She did. You know, hairdressers love to go short. You say, oh, I'll just have a little trim, you know. I told her I wanted a long bob. She said, well, how long do you want the hair in front? And I said, well, because it was kind of straggly looking. I had that like old hippie look. I don't know if you saw a couple videos ago. I had that old hippie look. And I said, oh, you know, I just really want it cleaned up, maybe a nice long bob. And I'm down here somewhere, right? So she starts chopping away, and she starts up at the top, really short in the back. It's like really short. But, I mean, she made it healthy. It really, it's my summer cut. So I thought I would just, okay, go over that. Let's get started. Sephora Play. What came in play this time, it's all themed for summer beach wear. And I'm not a summer beach wear kind of person, so I was like, oh, here we go. But, you know, as in a cute little bag. Isn't that cute? They had the perfume sample. This is called Bright Crystal from Versace. And I really like it. It's like a floral scent. It's very light. It doesn't last very long, though. I mean, as soon as I spray it on, I'm like, the little wafting is kind of neat, but then it kind of disappears somewhere in the day. And I don't mind. I'd rather have a scent disappear during the day than stay there and bother everybody around me, you know, my coworkers and everything. So I did like this very much, this Bright Crystal from Versace. The next thing they had was the Professional sampler from Benefit, and of course I hadn't used this in a long time. When it first came out, I tried it because I have like some big pores here and there and around my nose. It's especially bad, my chin, and right around in here. Angie, Hot and Flashy, she calls it her orange peel skin, and that's just what I have, a little bit of that. But I have dry skin, so those kind of pore filler kind of primers and things usually I think are drying. So I kind of hadn't used this in a long time, and they give you a cute little sample, and it's really nice. I had forgotten that I really liked it, but that's the Professional pore thing, because of course, you know, in summertime everybody's hot and sweaty, and your pores come out to play. They also had this, it's a dry shampoo, and it's chlorine, and it's got oat milk in it or something. It's not bad. I mean, dry shampoos, my husband said that's what the prostitutes used to wear after they had their johns, you know, so they go back out on the street and have fresh hair. But I was like, I didn't know that. I don't know. I mean, I'm not, you know, Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm or anything, but I didn't know that was the reputation that dry shampoos had. Maybe that's why they call that psst. Okay, anyway, new dry shampoos are very convenient for those of us who work and do things, and even if you wash your hair in the morning, if you go out and you're sweaty, so it's icky out, or if you're working out somewhere and your hair gets all sweaty and icky, this is a great little spray. So I was pleased with that one. This is one of those beachy waves kind of things from Verb. And basically when your hair is wet, you spray this stuff on and you zhuzh your hair up. And as it dries, it kind of gets little waves in it. And it did it. It did the little waves thing, which I thought was kind of neat. However, my hair felt kind of tacky, sticky. And that's the payout for this. You get the hair that looks kind of cute, but it does feel sticky, like you were in salt water. So, but that's from Verb, and it did work. Amazing. This is called Kula, and it is a makeup setting spray, and it's supposed to make you feel refreshed. Like if you're really hot, you're sweating, your makeup's starting to melt, you pat everything down, and then you spray this stuff on, and it's very cooling, But what's really weird is it must have a lot of alcohol or something, and it stung my face. It stung my face, and then it dried down really dry. So I don't know about the stinging the face part, but the drying down really dry was nice. So I'm going to give this a try and see how it goes. I'm not sure how some of you will like that. Now, there was only one makeup item in the play bag for this particular month of June, and that was the Kat Von D. It's a long-lasting, highly pigmented lipstick in a liquid form, and the color is called Lovesick. It's very pretty. Let me, yeah, I'll put it on. Why not? You have to give it a second to settle in. It really is long-lasting. It's a pretty color. I really like it a lot. I like Kat Von D's lip products anyway because they really do last a long time. And that is the last of the things that you get in the Play subscription sampler bags. That's June. So that was nice. I enjoyed that. That was fun. The next thing I got is from Fresh, and I like Fresh as a brand a lot. I have a lot of their products. Now this one, it's all fancy. It looks like some monk walking. It says the original soft cream, whatever the heck that's supposed to mean. You just think all these monks are sitting there with great skin singing. I don't know. Anyway, this stuff is it's a light, soft cream, and yeah, it hydrated, but it smells like some kind of fluid you put in your automobile, like I don't know, transmission fluid or something. It smells weird, and I didn't like that part of it. I couldn't handle it, so even though 91% of women saw their skin was protected and soft, this didn't work for me, and it's expensive. This is unusual for me to talk about because I rarely talk about stuff outside of the makeup line, sometimes food. This is Dr. Sheffield's natural toothpaste. And what makes this unique for me personally is I lived in the town where the factory was. Dr. Sheffield's factory was this huge, giant 1920s looking factory, and he invented the toothpaste tube. He invented it. And it's so nice to see what the original toothpaste tube was like. I don't know why they've gone away from this particular one, because I don't like those pop-up caps that get all mucked up and everything. This is great. It's very old school taste. You know, it's almost like a European toothpaste. This is the peppermint one. I really like it a lot. It's just, it does what it's supposed to do, and I was just so tickled to see the Sheffield manufacturing company from New London, Connecticut in here, because I drove by that factory so many times on my way to work, you know, when I was living down in that area. So I've never seen the toothpaste before, and they carry it now in CVS. So they had several different types. I just got the natural peppermint one. This is the last skincare thing I think I'll go into. This was sent to me a while back, and because I was doing the makeup test this past month, I used this exclusively all month long. This is a line from New Zealand, and it's called Nudu. Nudu. And it's natural, organic. It doesn't have a lot of bad ingredients in that some skincare has. It's cruelty-free. It's a very, very nice line. I think the thing that impressed me about this line, and I got 4 of the products here, plus a glove, plus a sleeping aid. It's so clear and concise as to what to do with each of the products. And, you know, I think skincare can be really complex sometimes, you know, and it's like, this is the cream cleanser, and this, in the line, I think this is the only thing I wasn't that impressed with, the cream cleanser. I've heard other people talk about the other cleanser, or the foaming one, that is really good. But the cream cleanser, to me, even though it felt great, it smells nice, it did not pull enough of my makeup off. And I tried, I had to do like a double barrel try to get my makeup off, and I couldn't. So the cleanser probably was the only thing about it that I didn't really like in the line. Now this is a pH balancing toner, and a lot of us think toner. Oh, we think witch hazel from the 1970s, This is a really nice toner, and toners nowadays actually balance your skin out, and they're helpful even if you have dry skin. So the toner is the next step, and it's explained easily. It says wash your face, pat dry, and then put some of this on a cotton, and then go around. I just go around like my T-zone, my oily areas, and areas that are not balanced. And that's a great one. I like the toner a lot. And then there's an eye cream and a moisturizer. And the eye cream, again, it says dot a few dots around in a pattern and pat them in. Very, very nice. I did that, and I did that around the St. Bernard lines too, and it actually seemed to improve things there. And the very last step is the moisturizer, and there's a pump with it. And I put that on, and that was my base every single day for my makeup, and I thought it was great. So all in all, I'm really impressed with the products from this line, Nudu. So, and New Zealand is where I have a lot of family that lives in New Zealand, so I'm always keen to supporting upstart companies who are, you know, all natural, cruelty-free kind of places. I think that's great. I went into Five Below, and I wanted to see some of their other makeup. I wanted to try like the Profusion BB cream. I've had good luck with some Profusion products, but they're really a cheapy kind of line, you know, and it's hit or miss. Like the nail polish is good, the lipsticks, some of them are good, but the BB cream was not, unfortunately. There was a lot of little flaky fibers in it, so it didn't work for me and my dry skin. I also wanted to try, this is the Prismatic Nudes palette. Somebody had talked about this on YouTube and said they really liked it. I don't know if it's Emily Noel or somebody was talking about makeup under $5 and under. Now it looks from a distance that these colors would be great. A couple of them had pigmentation, but I wouldn't even spend $5 on this, so this was a kind of a waste of money for me. Okay, Ulta's carrying a bunch of new lines, and besides MAC, they're also carrying some other lines, and I thought I would give them a try. The first thing I want to talk about actually is I didn't realize they carried cargo there, and I hadn't tried them in a while because I had done a special on cargo. I'll link that below, all about the history of the company and all about their products, and I do like cargo products very much. This was their starter set. So for $29 you can get 4 of their most iconic products, and I remembered I had really liked a lot of their products when I did the special on them, and this is how they come. This is the eye pencil, the eyeliner pencil, and one end is a smudge and one end, and it is something you actually have to sharpen. Now this is a stay put liner. Once you put it on, it does stay put, but it's kind of hard, and I don't like hard eyeliners because they kind of tug at your eyes, and I need all the help I can get with not pulling, tearing, whatever. So the eyeliner was kind of meh for me. That wasn't a great thing. It wasn't, but it was difficult to take it off, which is a good sign if you're going somewhere. Now this is the face base, which is, it's actually a concealer, and you can actually conceal all around your face in your natural color and use powder, and you're good to go. It's kind of a concealer and a foundation together. It's a very, very potent concealer. But as a foundation, it's lightweight too. So I really like this. It's a face base. It works well even on my dry skin. This is the light shade, and it's kind of a, I would say, a stage 2 or 3 light. It's not super fish belly white light, but it is a nice light shade. So that I do like, and that has a nice lasting power, and it works really well. You don't get a lot of product for the money though. This is actually a sample size. The regular tube is just a little bit bigger. And because you apply it with an applicator, I guess they're not assuming you're going to slob it all over your face. You're just putting it in the places that you really feel you need it, and it works really nicely in both capacities as a concealer and as a foundation. This is the lipstick, and I thought it was a little bit dark, but it's very nice all-purpose lipstick. And their products are very like waterproof, pretty much. You can, these are some of the products you can actually, they're sweat-proof, waterproof, so you can wear them with confidence knowing that they're going to last through dinner. Now the Texas Lash, Cargo's, the Texas Lash, this is something I thought I remembered liking back when I did the special. And the idea of Texas Lash, of course, you would think there's big old honking lashes involved here, but it's sort of a dry formula, and it's really hard to get a big old lash from a dry formula. It's a very controllable brush, though. I mean, you can do a lot with it. I didn't find it held up, though, in the heat. I got the little dings up here and a little bit of smearing underneath, so it didn't pass my mascara love test. So unfortunately, most of this set I wasn't really all that impressed with. You know, the lipstick and the face base were well worth the price point of this to try it. It's a great way to try out Cargo Cosmetics, so it gets a thumbs up from me, but I was disappointed in the eyeliner being too scratchy hard, and the mascara didn't hold up in a really, really hot weather, which we're going into really hot weather. Up here in New England, we've got humid hot weather, which makes it worse. Before I get into the Lottie collection that I bought, I got two things from another new company from Ulta called Note. This is the Luminizing Foundation. It's not luminizing. I didn't like it at all. It went on nicely. It looked good as I was putting it on, and then when I looked in the mirror, it's got kind of a yellow base, and this is a light shade. This is shade number 2, I think. It's yellow, it's fibery, it looks terrible, it goes right into your lines, and I have these gouges kind of lines in my face, and usually even with a primer, you know, some foundations can settle in badly, but look at that awful color. I didn't like this at all. It's going back. Going back. Oh, they hate me at Ulta now. They really do. Yeah, so Note, the Luminizing Foundation, was a no-go for me, both on the color being way too yellow and also on, it just didn't work with my dry skin. So maybe this is one of those themed for young people kind of makeup companies where they're kind of thinking an oily, sweaty skin teenager's going to love it. The other thing I got from them was the lipstick. And online, of course, when you're looking at lipsticks online, they just never really look the same. This one, let me see what the name of this was. What it's called. Yeah, this is Ruby Pink number 5. And the packaging is nice. And I thought it was going to be a nice, pretty corally peach color. But it's a little too bright. Let me just put it on for you so you can see. And it didn't last very long at all. It's that cartoon kind of color. I'm not fond of it at all. It's too cartoony bright. It's more of a neon kind of peachy color. But if you see a color named Ruby Pink, this is not what you would think it would look like. So let me just get up close. You can see it looks patchy too. So anyway, a fail on both counts from Note, so I'm not going to try anything else from that line. Those of you in the UK may know this brand because it isn't a British brand. It's called Lottie, L-O-T-T-I-E. And I purchased several things from this line because I wanted to try it. I really wanted to give it a good chance. I wanted to give it a good all-around try. I didn't want to just go into this and say, well, you know, I didn't try the concealer, I didn't try the foundation, but the eyeshadow sucked. Well, this is the concealer from Lottie, and this is, again, it's a UK brand. It has a sponge tip applicator, straight into my line, straight into the crepes. This is a light shade, and it looks very, very dark and yellow. So I didn't like the concealer at all. It did not work. Those of you in the UK watching may say, why did they start selling that brand in the US? Because it's cheap. That's all I can say. You're probably laughing now. You're going, wow, she bought that brand? So this is the BB cream, and I thought that this would be a nice all-purpose kind of way to put like a foundation alternative, because I like BB creams in the summer. And initially it looks very serumy and nice. It dried down, went straight into the lines, and looked so cakey on. It was embarrassing. I had to take it off before I went to work because I couldn't go to work with this stuff on. And so that was a waste. That's going back. The brow pencil was fine. It has a spoolie on one end, and it has this on the other. This is the light shade, and it actually wasn't too bad, the light shade. It was a little bit light brown for a light shade, but you know, it wasn't bad. I think out of the line, that's the only thing that actually did all right. I wouldn't return that one. The eyeliner came as a free gift when you bought other things from the line. This is the Winged Woman, I think it's called. And it looks initially like a Kat Von D thing. It's difficult to maneuver, but it stays really well. So I'm kind of torn about whether I'd recommend it or not. What I used it for, and it worked really well, was when I had false lashes on and I needed to fill in, you know, where the skin shows on false lashes. It worked really well for that, and it did hold. I mean, just to try to get it off is very difficult. So I wouldn't go out and say this was a go-to product, or you know, oh, I have to have that Lottie eyeliner and this is out, so I better get another one. It wasn't so terrible that I'd return it, but it wasn't good enough that I would, you know, want to get more of them after that is expired. Mascara. This is the Flash Goals mascara from Lottie. And when I pulled this brush out, I was like, what the heck? It's Nessie. It's the Loch Ness Monster. What do you do with a brush like this? I was like, can you see it? Alright, so I'm like, well, the thin end may be supposed to go on the inside, or should the thick end go on the inside, because but then you slam it against your nose here. So it's backwards. If they had the big end on this side and the little end on this side, and you went in, the big end would go in further while you've got those outer lines. I don't know what their thinking was with this, but it's so hard to use. And I was like, there's no sense to it at all. None. And the formulation was okay, but it wasn't enough. Again, it's not a go-to product, but that brush was so difficult to use. This is going back. I mean, I'm sending the message. Lottie sucks. Now, there are 3 more products from Lottie. This is the Believe in Your Selfie palette, and it had what looked really good. It has a highlighter, a contour, and a blush. Plus it had 6 different eyeshadows, so I thought, how can this go wrong? You know, it's got a lot of stuff. I gotta like something in here. And I actually did, I did like some of the things. It's cute packaging, cardboard. Got a nice mirror. The eyeshadows aren't very pigmented. The darker shades are pigmented. The shimmery shades all look pretty much the same. Even though they look different in the palette, they all look pretty much the same color to me. The blush was very nice. I thought it was a very pretty color, and that actually worked pretty well. The same thing with the highlighter. And I guess this is a bronzer, but I did use it as a contour. So these 3 things were fine, and then the darker 2 shades were fine. The other things in this palette were kind of a wash. This was so lightly pigmented. You know, it's one of those shadows that you can swatch it and you think, oh, it looks nice. And then when you put it on your eye, it kind of disappears. It goes off into the makeup void. So this was kind of disappointing, although I did like the face products. So maybe Lottie's face products are going to be okay. I would probably venture off to try the blush on its own, but I thought they were a little more expensive, the blushes and things. I did want to try an eyeshadow palette, and they had like 3 or 4 different ones. This one is the Russ. This is called the Russ, as in R-U-S-T-S. Comes with a kind of strange, it looks like a lip brush on one end and a sponge tip applicator on the other. Neither of which applied the shadows very well. I did dip into every one of these shadows, and you can see that there's no mirror with this palette, but I did dip into every one of the shadows and try them. There's a couple of nice, again, the shimmer colors had such low pigment, it was just shiny something. You could see the shiny, you just couldn't see what color was behind it. And none of the mattes really did it for me in here. I was so disappointed with a palette that has this many colors, and it reminds me of like a Color Institute, really cheapy. There's probably a place in China that makes all of these and disperses them under different names and stuff, but you've tried these kind of shadows before, and they're really cheap. And after you use really nice shadows, it's so hard to demonstrate these kind of things because there's just nothing there. And then when you put them on and you try to blend them out, they mush together and they look muddy if there's dark colors involved. They don't hold true at all. So the eyeshadow palette was so disappointing. So, you know, and again, you can find 1 or 2 colors in here you would use, but it does not justify buying the whole palette for it. And I can't recommend it. I just can't recommend this brand in general. I'm very disappointed in. As an older person with crepey skin, dry skin, but this was another story. This is the lip kit, and it has their liquid matte lipstick in it. And I got this color, I think it was, what is it called? Work It. Work It is the color. When I put it on, I said, so what does this remind you of? My husband said, death. Anyway, it's kind of a browny, nudie color. And then it comes with a lip liner. Every single time I have tried to line my lips with this lip liner, it breaks off. And let me try, let me see. Oh sure, this is like when you take your car to the guy and say it's been making this noise, and you turn it on, it doesn't make the noise. This broke off. At least 3 times, because I tried to use this at least 3 times. This lip liner is in the shade, well, the lip liner is this color. Let me just put it here. Yeah, see it's breaking off even here. You can see it's a big chunk here. And it's one of those lip liners when you put it on, these little chunks here and there. So I don't like the lip liner at all. So now this is the Stay All Day in Work It, and this has actually really impressed me. The color, not so much. It goes on very silky, like those Sephora silky lip things. I'll just put on. But the color is not my favorite. It's a very kind of a gray-brown nude, so it's not as flattering. It just looks like a basic lip. And together they work nicely, but again, I don't like that lip liner. I would buy the lipstick stuff, this liquid lip. I'd buy it on its own in a different color, but the shade range wasn't huge. So that is the lipstick, and the Stay All Day matte color. It lasted all day. It really did last all day. And I was impressed with that very much. That was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay, so that's Lottie out of the way. And never ever going to buy Lottie again. Everybody's been talking about this. It's the Revlon Blur Youth FX Blur Foundation. It's a very weird formulation, and it's supposed to be a primer and a foundation in one. It's very thick, like grease paint, and when you put it on, it has immediate coverage. If you let it dry down and look into the mirror, you look like cupcake frosting. It's absolutely horrible for anybody who has dry skin or wrinkles. Initially, I thought it would look great. Didn't blur anything. It sat on my skin. I tried it without a primer underneath because it's supposed to be a primer and a foundation. So there was nothing that would interfere with the technology. I thought maybe, you know, people who have had bad luck with this, maybe it's because their moisturizer or something like that is just not working with it. And I tried it with nothing. I tried it even after I had just done a toner and didn't put a moisturizer on, and tried it and it didn't work. So it was a total fail for me. It just was so cupcake. I had to take it off before I went to work, and it's another one of those cases where it's not good for dry skin gals. TJ Maxx. They're always coming up with new things that amaze me. They now have an imitation of the Real Techniques brush cleaner with the cup style. This is the game changer, they call it. It's pretty cool. It's a thing you put on your wrist, and it's made out of this stuff, you know, like the switch, the color switch, spongy stuff. It's got that on it. And then, you know, like these face buns that you use to clean your brushes off with. But it's on your wrist. And it's got elastics here so you can hold your other brush while you're doing it. So you would put your makeup on, brush it on there, put it on there, and it washes really nicely. This feels more like this than like this. It's a rougher, it's not the same stuff as in the color switch, so it's closer to this. But it was only like $3 or $4, and you've got these elastics to hold your brushes, so you can switch out your brush if you want to go to a face brush. I just thought that was really, really cool as a gadget, and I picked that up at TJ Maxx. It's called the Game Changer, and it shows the lady there with the brush on her hand and then cleaning the brush off. This is nice in between doing your real cleansings of your brushes, which I hope you are doing. You really need to clean your brushes. Anything that goes around your eye, including your eyelash curlers, your beauty blenders, all that stuff needs to be cleaned. Don't let it go. You don't want to have little bacteria emerging in there. Okay, I broke down and got this only because I wanted to test it, and it is the L'Oreal Paradise Lash Paradise. I didn't get the waterproof one. I got the regular one because everybody seems to be testing out the waterproof one, and I wanted to see what this was. They compare it with the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, but I think, honestly, I think it's only because the packaging looks the same, because that's where it ends. The brush is shaped different, and the formula is completely different. I have it on right now. I have it on, and it really gives you huge, big old honkin' lashes. And I watched, I think it was Nisha didn't like this. She said she doesn't like Better Than Sex mascara either, and neither do I. So when they said that this was going to be a comparison of this and Better Than Sex mascara from Too Faced, I thought, well, I don't like that one. So how am I going to like this? It is a little bit messy if you get really close to your lashes. It does get the little beads on the end if you put too many coats really fast, but you just put a lash comb through. It is a pretty good big honkin' lash kind of mascara, so, and it didn't leave dings, it didn't smear, so it actually worked pretty well for me. And I don't like to recommend L'Oreal products, but that one worked. On the high end, I had to try this. This is the Narcissist cheek palette, and it's something that, it was a luxury item. I was feeling particularly depressed at the time, so I did a little retail therapy, and I bought myself this, and I felt instantly better for 3.5 minutes. This is the Narcissist, alright, nice big mirror, and then you get these beautiful 4 colors. Can you see them? One is more, this is more of a bronzer, and, alright, let me see if I can swatch them on my fish belly white skin. So this is more of the bronzing shade, and then you have this pretty kind of pinkish shade. It's very subtle. It looks much stronger in the palette than it does on. And then this is my favorite shade, and I think it's probably just Orgasm or something. I don't know. Orgasm is a pretty common thing. And then the highlight's quite pleasant. All right. let's see if you can see on my big old bat wing arms. Well, we need to work on that, huh? Yeah. This is more of a holographic, and I think you can see that it's more of a holographic color, alien sheen kind of highlighter. But I do like the other three a lot, and I have been wearing them all week. I was wearing them under here. Yeah, it's not bad at all. And I just wanted to, for summertime, get something a little bit high quality, a little bit interesting for the summer. So, Narcissist. They do have other cheek palettes out, as you know, they come out with something every season, and this was their summer season thing. And I think when I'm glowy, happy, slightly darker than I usually am the rest of the year, that was a nice choice. So after the powder foundation wars, I did go and get the full size of the Lancome, and I got a different color. I got the next shade up, and I really like it. This is the Claire 2, number 210. It's number 210, and it's a perfect color, absolutely perfect for me. And I did want to try this because it's been a while. It's Makeup Forever's HD Concealer, and I worked this in, and I'd forgotten there is like no setup time. So the second you dot that on, you blend that right away. Don't do both eyes and then go back. Do it right away because it sets up right away. But it stays pretty well, and I did like it. I think I would get a slightly darker shade next time, and I'm not returning that. Surprise. Okay, gadgets. This is a lipstick tower, which holds 24, I think it holds 24 lipsticks. But as you can see, I've got a lot of tall boys here, and so it's supposed to stand up also. You know, it stands up, and it does, but when you have it standing upright, if you have it on a flat surface, you get a problem with the big boys falling out thusly. So I wanted someplace where I could see all my lipsticks in a different way. I can't seem to find a good way to have my lipsticks so I see where they are and what they are. And I thought this would be it. You can have it down like this, and it holds them all. I think this way works better for me, but it's still... Anyway, what I do is, these are handbag inserts. So when you have a big old honking bag that's almost like a tote bag size, you can get one of these things. They're only like $6, $7. And what it is an insert. You put your wallet in here, you put your work badge, you can get your phone, your camera, your mints, eyeglasses, pens, tissues from sneezing all the time in this weather. And I've got my calculator in here, and there's all kinds of things. And there's zippered compartments too, so you can put, like I have my coupons to different things. And on the other side, what do I have on the other side? Oh, makeup mirrors, my Splenda for when they screw up my mix at Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, so you have this and you set it inside your bag. And it's wonderful. And so if you have a couple of different bags that are like this, and I mean, I'm not a designer bag person. I don't like to spend $1,000 on a bag, but I love this. And what's nice is, and you can tell the quality, like even from like a Kohl's bag or anywhere else, this leather strap, a lot of times when you're using a strap like this a lot, from carrying it and from having it on your shoulder and everything, it gets wear marks on it. But this one doesn't. I mean, you can tell the quality on it, and it's just gorgeous. It's gorgeous inside and out. I love it. So I just slip this inside. My stuff doesn't roll around the bottom, and it holds it, and it's great. I love it. It looks like the day I bought it. I mean, it's just absolutely fabulous. So I'll link their site below. You can, have a look. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I don't get money or anything like that from them. I really like that bag, and I might get another style, maybe for a big event like a Christmas thing or something. But yeah, have a look on the site, because they've got, well, as you know, designer handbags can go from $500 to $1,000, and I think this one's on sale right now for $3.99 or something like that. But Anyway, that's just a luxury item to treat yourself when you're feeling really down. One of you asked me about makeup mirrors, and I've always been kind of a traditional makeup mirror person. You know, you have this kind here, and you can flip it around. You got the, you know, the 8x magnification so you can see every little pore in your face. And then you have these two kind of subtle lights on the side that you can alter to make daylight, or this is supposed to be daylight. Then we have office lighting, home lighting, you know, evening lighting. You know, and it was safe. It was this. It's awkward to use these kind of things, and you always have to plug them in. There's a plug here that you have to plug into a plug. So when you're traveling, if you're bringing this with you, it's an inconvenient thing. When I went to IMATS, they had this, and this is these little tiny, very bright lights. I mean, very bright lights. And it came with a detachable, and you can move it anywhere on there you wanted, a 10x. I mean, you're looking at your DNA molecules with this. Oh my God. You can put it on there so that when you're doing your makeup, you can actually just double check. It's got a suction cup thing. So when you're actually doing your makeup, you can actually double check right there. You don't have to flip it around and try to, you know, do it that way. You've got everything right there. So it does save time. You can make it a little bit less intense, and it's battery operated, so you can bring it anywhere. It also moves in any direction. So if you're putting false lashes on, you know, you can look down and you can see exactly where you're at. I did like it especially for that. And I like the fact that you can move this puppy around anywhere on it. So if you just want to do your regular makeup. What was hard for me to get used to were these bright lights. Because compared to this, you can see these lights were like, it's like a, I don't know, a slot machine or something looking at you. So it took me a little while to get used to this, and this thing was irritating because it seemed to block the view. But if you look at this side by side, you know, they're basically, this is actually a bigger size than this for viewing space. It's optical illusion. But I like the fact that you can go up and down with this. Of course, you can turn it side to side. And it's got a little pocket here where you can put like your lipstick or, you know, some Q-tips or whatever. So I do like this. And this runs around $18 on Amazon. And it's battery powered by it's got on the back here, there's four AA batteries. I mean, personally, I really like this a lot. I'm comfortable with this. This is more convenient, and I just have to get used to it. I think when you're used to using one system for a long time, you just, you know, you don't. And I love this. The only thing, I wish this was a little bigger because it's almost warped. It's almost like a fisheye because it's a little warped on the ends, you know. So when you are checking here, you get that, you know, that distorted look on the edge. But I tell you, you can see every little fine line, hair, mascara ding, anything. So something like this, you have to flip it around. Then you're getting your makeup all over your mirrors, and you know there's lots of cleanup involved. So I thought that this was a great alternative, very modern, and it hasn't worn down the battery yet. And I left it on all day one day, so when it came on, I went, you know, it was still working just fine. So I don't know how much battery power it uses. I'll let you know. I think that's the only downfall to something like this. But something like this, either in the dark with these lights, and you will get used to them, or right in front of a natural light window, and I think you get some really good makeup from this. I think it's very crystal clear. For 18 bucks, it actually costs less than this one. So that's my take on the makeup mirrors, because somebody had asked me about which one I recommended. And right now I think I would recommend that one. So I think that's pretty much it. It's Sunday. I have to go into work today, of all things. It's right near the end of our fiscal year. So I hope you enjoyed this. And it was a lot of fun talking to you about stuff. Got to get used to my hair. And you know, it will grow. I know it grows because my gray starts coming in. Oh, life after 50, huh? Anyway, everybody have a wonderful week and have a beautiful day. Take care. Toodles.